welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Noemi, and I should have just started with welcome back to my kitchen because this is a new video on how I simplified some things in my kitchen. And in my last video I asked you guys what is your biggest clutter challenge, and I got a bunch of good ideas for videos, and I can see what you guys struggle with the most. So the question is the same. If you are new here, or even if you just haven't commented yet, you can leave it down below what is your most struggle with clutter in your home. And today I am going to target the food storage questions that you guys had, and I'm going to answer to those, and I'm going to have separate videos on different questions. It depends on the question. It may take a whole entire video. Maybe I can squish a few questions in there to answer in more details for you. It's coming in the next couple of months. I'm planning to do a bunch of those videos that is related to that. And today I am going to have the subject around how I store my food, and that starts from the beginning when it's entered into my home, when I come home from the shopping, as until we have all the leftovers gone. Okay, so the first thing, when a food enters into my home, either can go straight into the refrigerator or I have to store them in something. And I really like to buy, if I buy a cold cut and they have this plastic thing that are in, I really like to put them straight into the jar. One, we can see more what we have, and the second, it will last longer in the refrigerator in that one. And I love this size for leftover as well. So this is a main storage for me, like chopping up vegetables like cucumber slices, I can put them in there, and whenever we need, it's just a faster way to give a healthier snack for my kids. So we have a less tendency to reach for crackers or any other things that are not so healthy because it's already ready to go and eat. I have two of this size of the jars, and it's a La Parfait jar. I will link everything down below for you guys, so we will have an easier time to find them. So this huge jar, not huge, big one, I have a bigger one. This big one is great for leftovers. So I have two of these because my family is like a wood chipper, so we don't have that much of a leftover. But if I make a double size of the dish, because the next day I know I'm not going to have time to cook, then I'm actually perfectly fine with two of this size, and I don't need more. Besides that, I have a bunch of these. I'm not sure how much altogether, probably 6 of them, or 7 or 8 or something like that. And this is where I keep soup and vegetable stews and other cut up vegetables, and I really love these because they perfectly seal and I can just layer them and put top of each other. And also I like to use the huge jars for the things, and I'm going to make a separate video on my pantry tour because I think it requires a more explanation. But I like to keep all these things into big jars, and these are the things that I like to use the most. And if it doesn't fit in there, I just simply make a food on that day where I can use up the rest of it. So I will go in more details on my pantry video that will come up very soon, that will be coming up. But for now, I just wanted to show you these huge jars that this is where I keep all the dried goods that I use almost every single day. And I also have bigger sizes and smaller sizes for store more items for the pantry. I just want to show you how much purpose it can have these for these jars. So for anything that is dried goods, they are going into jars. They are a different type of jars, but they are multiple purpose because once they are empty, I can put tea in there and any other things. I like to use this to prepare food. If you have seen my Instagram, I posted there that I make oatmeal and I just put a homemade jam on the top, or I can just cook some bananas in there. And this is the size of jars that I like to use, and as you can see, you can top of that each other. And the main thing that I love, besides it's healthier to store everything in the jar, that it has an attached lid. so you will never ever have a lid that will go missing because it attached. So these are for the smaller items. If I have a company coming over or I'm going to take some food to friends, I like to use these bigger ones. And what I love about these, that I can use as a Purex. I can just mixing everything in there. So I use these multiple times a day, and I store the lids very close to it, so it's very easy to just put them on. But this is another way to store things, and I only use this when I make like a big amount of cookies or just more food. But they also can be used from eating out of it. So it has a multiple purpose, but as a backup, I can put bigger things in there if I need to. So these were the glasses that I use when the food is in my home. But how about when we leave to somewhere? So I purchased this about a month ago, I think, and this has been something that I was looking for so long because it's divided, and I just love that the food doesn't. I just love that the food doesn't mix in there together. And so I really like this jars. I really like these containers because I can prepare food. So usually my husband eats with us lunch, but if some reason if he works farther, then I can prepare him foods, and I have 5 of these, and I can just layer them in the refrigerator. And this is the only thing that has, actually 2 because there's another one, but these are the only lids that are completely removable from the container. So basically I don't have that much lid to get it lost, and so I have 5 of these. And also I have a different lid to this, and that just shows it's a different shape. It's obvious it goes on the top, so that will never get mixed. That's why I like better the metal ones and the glass ones, because plastics are so look-alike. They can seem to be it fits on it, but it doesn't, and they get mixed and lost. And that way they don't get lost. I've been using this for, I would say, probably almost 10, no, it's 9 years, I think, this one, or 10 years or something like that. And we have another one on the go. So I have 2 of that for my boys, and we have 4 of this kind, so we each can have a full meal when we go somewhere. So I like to pack at least one type of food that contains some protein, some meat, and some vegetable with that, so it's a good hearty food, and the rest of them it's a snack. And so I can put the snacks in there, and it's again the same thing, it's attached to it so it don't get lost, and my kids won't lose it, because that was another thing. When they took that to the school, they got lost the lids, so that way it made it home back. So I have a good hearty meal in these, and for the bigger snack I like to combine bigger items, and I use this too, again with a very recognizable lid. So I have a removable lid for my containers, just only for a few, and those are very recognizable, but most of them are attached, and that way I don't mix them, I don't lose them, and it's very easy to locate. It's very easy to wash. It's much easier to wash this part than the plastic ones, because you know how they got into connected with the food that has fat. That will never be the same. It will take forever to wash the dish. And yeah, so that would be the storage that I use. And also I have a bunch of this type of jars, which I have shown you that I use in my pantry. So that had peanut in there, so probably I'm going to buy more and fill it up. But also it can be used for different things, like I can drink out of it, and if I am defrosting a meat that comes in a tube, like a turkey breast, I can just put it in there, and it doesn't have to have a big bowl. I can just put it in there, it perfectly covers, and I can just leave it in the refrigerator to defrost like that. So there's tons of endless possibility for these jars to use, and we don't have to think just flat, it has to be flat. So I really hope that you had find something that you can use out of these ideas. Everybody is different, so it's a 4 of us. I got 2 boys that like a wood chipper, so they eat a lot. but it depends on the size and appetite of your family. This is the amount that works for us so well, and it doesn't overcrowd everything. Just think about it. If I would have all this jar filled with foods and I fill up the refrigerator, that is full, so I can put more there anyway. So this is my limit. And so we start to eat out of food from the refrigerator that way, and I can just wash them and they're ready to use it again with the lid on the top. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video about how I solved my missing lid problem, because since then I don't miss a lid for container. And I will see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.